Parliament didn't fix anything on May 29th. It stalled on over 190 fronts. What the official record actually shows. Date: Friday, May 29, 2026. 45th Parliament, First Session. Sources: House of Commons Order Paper and Notice Paper number 125. Canadians are told that a busy parliament is a working parliament. We are led to believe that a packed agenda means our representatives are actively tackling the country's biggest crises. But the official parliamentary record from May 29, 2026, tells a very different story. This isn't commentary. It's straight from Order Paper number 125. What Parliament did that day: bills were piled on, not progressed. Parliament's agenda was flooded with a massive wave of 10 new private members' bills and 2 major Senate bills. MPs introduced legislation touching on the absolute core of Canadian life. Bill number 5, a criminal code amendment on hate speech and antisemitism. Bill number 2, a push to fundamentally shift national demographics by lowering the federal voting age. Bill number 3 and Bill number 9, massive structural overhauls to enact a National Pharmacare Act and a Mental Health Addictions and Substance Use Services Act. On paper, it looks like a sweeping wave of reform, but looking at the mechanics of the day reveals the reality. First reading only. No debate to conclusion. No votes cast. No relief delivered. Just more paperwork added to an already congested legislative pipeline. The coercion crisis acknowledged, then sidelined. For the second time this session, the government formally put the terrifying concept of systemic coercion on its official agenda. Following up on previous debates surrounding medical assistance in dying, Parliament introduced Bill number 4, an act to establish a national strategy to protect seniors from coercive control and violence. The House formally acknowledged, vulnerable Canadians are facing psychological and physical threats. Current criminal protections are inadequate. A national strategy is desperately required. And what happened next? It was placed on the pile. No immediate action. No protection passed. Acknowledgement now. Protection later. A gridlocked backlog of over 190 demands for accountability. This is where the true state of Parliament is exposed. The Order Paper revealed a massive, staggering bottleneck. Over 190 outstanding motions to concur in committee reports, sitting entirely stalled. Dozens of these critical requests come directly from the Standing Committee on Access to Information, Privacy and Ethics, alongside the Committee on Government Operations and Estimates. These are the specific committees tasked with investigating government spending, waste, and ethical breaches. The record shows these motions have been languishing on the agenda since September 2025. That means unanswered questions for 8 consecutive months, critical oversight reports blocked from being voted on, total procedural gridlock. Talk continued. Accountability didn't. What Parliament did not do. On May 29, 2026, Parliament did not break the ethics gridlock, lower the cost of groceries or basic health care, clear the massive backlog of stalled legislation, provide immediate protection for vulnerable seniors, while MPs stuck strictly to the rigid, time-blocked schedule, transitioning perfectly from member statements at 11 a.m. to oral questions at 11:15 a.m. The pile of unfinished business simply grew larger. Politicians managed the clock, but they didn't manage the country's problems. Why this matters? The Order Paper is the ultimate ledger of parliamentary accountability. Once an item is placed on this paper, it is a formal admission that Parliament knows an issue exists and has chosen to log it. They acknowledged the gaps in healthcare. They acknowledged the vulnerability of our seniors. They acknowledged the hundreds of ethics and spending reports waiting for review. What they didn't do was clear the desk. The pattern of stacking the agenda while deferring the duty is now permanently documented. The takeaway: when politicians say, "We have introduced historic legislation to address your concerns," what they actually mean is, the bill is sitting at the bottom of a massive pile. No real-world change has occurred. The systemic gridlock continues to cost you time and money. May 29, 2026 is a textbook example. An expanding agenda without execution. Over 190 demands for accountability without a single answer. Delay paid for by Canadians. This is the Canadian Citizens Journal.